Good morning, broadcasters. 360 seconds with the latest news and commentary for broadcast professionals. Pax Moore here with TKT 1957. Let's discuss the latest news in tech with our renowned expert and specialist, Philip Grossman. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So Canon has just introduced a brand new 17 to 120 millimeter zoom lens, now in the RF mount. Being that this is a lot of filmmakers' go-to for their Super 35 Cine Servo coverage, Philip, how do you believe this will impact and upgrade for Canon?
Well, recently Canon announced their C400, which is, I believe, their first RF-based cinema camera. And of course, you have a lot of their stills cameras that are now RF-based. So it makes sense that they would release this. And it really does indicate to the industry, at least from my perspective, that they are serious about that RF mount. They're serious about their Cine cameras and bringing that RF mount to those cameras. That 17 to 120 is it's a great range. I always joke that I'm looking for that 8 millimeter to 1,000 millimeter f2.8 that weighs a pound. That's a dream lens, never going to happen. But from a broadcaster's perspective, this really does have a fantastic range. I think it's a T4, T-stop 4, which is a little fast, I would think. Although you got to remember, in the broadcast arena, you've got fixed lighting situations. As a dock lens, it might not quite be enough. Within sort of that creative aspect, you'll hear people, well, you can't get enough bokeh because, hey, zoom in at T4 to 120, you're going to get a very shallow depth of field. So, and their servo zoom on there is fantastic. Very, very smooth. It's adjustable, so you can change the rate of speed. So overall, I think it's a great addition to their set of lenses, and just really shows that they have made a commitment to that RF mount.
Right. So now for some Vizrt news. The leaders in real-time graphics and live production for content creators just recently announced VizConnect Tetra, an ultra-compact live production workstation. Philip, what are your thoughts on this?
So it's interesting to see that there's several manufacturers now getting into this, we'll call that camera connection market. They realize that in order for their products to work, they've got to get the signal into their products. Everybody has different sort of connections. Of course, SDI is sort of our standard, but now we've gotten into, over the last 3 years, we have 2110, we have NDI, we have, just a plethora of different types of connections. And so by them creating sort of a standalone unit that helps sort of integrate into the Vizrt world, and it helps with the adoption of their other platforms, I think it's a very smart thing for them to do. They're known for their graphics. They're known for their technology. So it's a name that you can trust, as opposed to, say, some third-party manufacturer you may not have heard before. And it does give a lot of flexibility, and it's going to support UHD, which is sort of an important thing nowadays, as we're starting to see more UHD programming available via OTT models. We're still not quite seeing it on cable and satellite, although I think that'll be coming. So this just, again, another tool in your tool chest of things to say, hey, now I can connect. And of course, from within there, you'll be able to apply a lot of sort of camera shading and to some extent normalize that video signal across potentially multiple different cameras. So in general, I think it's a great tool. I'm glad to see Viz is getting into this market. It'll be exciting to see how far they progress with this type of unit.
So, Philip, I'm sure you've heard of Moxie, a company which prides themselves in mobile exchangeable intelligent energy for the film industry. How do you believe that this Moxie Solo will impact the market within power sources for film production?
So films use a lot of power, especially when you used to have 2,000-watt PAR fixtures and tungsten fixtures. And now everything's gone to LED. So it is possible to power them via battery. And of course, as we get more and more and bigger units, you need more and more power. So it's interesting to see a lot of manufacturers coming to market with these, some via partnerships. I believe Aperture did a partnership with, I believe it was Anchor, if I'm not mistaken, to bring their power solution. Moxie solution's a little bit different. If I'm not mistaken, it's a sodium-based battery as opposed to a standard lithium-ion battery. So I think they sometimes call them semi-solid state batteries. So, and I think it was 3.4 kilowatts. That's a lot of power. And of course, on a film set, that makes it very, very quiet. You know, in the past, we'd have the diesel generator down the road and miles of cabling so that you wouldn't hear that diesel generator. Now, with these smaller electric generators, we call them electric generators or solar generators, on set, you can have 2 or 3 of these spread throughout the set area, making it much easier for you to do your striking of the set, do your staging, all those kind of things without, you know, having to worry, well, I need power and it's all coming from one central location. So hopefully the film industry will start adopting these and using them in a creative fashion instead of just a replacement for a standard generator.
Many thanks to our expert, Philip Grossman. We want to appreciate everyone that watches 360 Seconds with TKT 1957. Once again, I'm Pax Moore. Until we see you next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.